Alright, guys, gals, and those who identify as a wall. Anyway, seriously, I've been looking at a lot of numbers, and I hope you guys had a happy Thanksgiving. I plan on putting another video up. You'll probably see this video. I know you guys this time of night. Um, yeah, this time of night, you'll probably see this video kind of late, probably tomorrow. Maybe some of you might watch it tonight. I don't know. But I was looking at some things, and the only way that the United States, anyway, you got to kind of remember that I do probably have one or two people across the world that even watches my videos. I mean, I don't know who they are or where they are. I do know that I have some people up in Canada that watch my videos. So, I mean, you just got to understand that not everybody's in America. But we're talking about it as far as grouping America. And let's talk about why it's important that America doesn't fail on national debt and on a debt level. If America fails on a debt level, we take all these other countries with us when we go. We take Finland, we take Australia, we take New Zealand, we take Poland, we take the United Kingdom, we take Germany, we take Italy, we take so many of the countries. All the United Nations countries go with us. And I'm sorry if the video is not so good. My webcam here, this little Logitech 270. Now you can pick these things up for one like this. You can pick it up for for like $18. You can buy these for $18 now. These little Logitechs. The computers are expensive, but the dang Logitech webcams are cheap. Of course, I was looking at some things, and if I can possibly do it to where that I'm making a good enough quality video with another type of webcam, I'm going to ditch Windows altogether. And me and Windows are going to part company, because right now I've been using my Logitech to make my videos on my laptop using Windows. But I have other devices to use. I mean, I use my cell phone. I've got another device in there that I can use. It just seems easier, and I've always kind of liked the quality of the video pretty good. But it just seems easier just to use my webcam on my laptop for me. But if I can, according to this, it says that this Nexigo webcam will work with Ubuntu real well. So if it does, and I don't have none of this kind of like, you see how it's got that little bit of I move my hand. You see how it's got that right there? That's always been a problem with mine and webcam with Linux. But if I could get that to stop this blurry mess, if I can get something that will work proper with Linux, then that would be really great. And then that way I can go ahead and ditch Windows. But I don't use Windows online anyway. I just use it offline for making the videos and editing some things, stuff like that. So, I mean, but I would be more than happy to get rid of Windows, trust me. Okay, so let's get into something real quick, and I want to talk about something real quick. Now, look here. Record number of subprime borrowers miss car loans. A record number. A significant group of Americans are falling behind on their car loans. Auto loan delinquencies are soaring with consumers hit by so on and so forth. Crisis is. Let's see. The auto loan crisis is back in 2025. What should lenders do now? A record number of Americans are behind on their auto loans, and this is all from Marketplace. Project Tech, Yahoo, CNN, Reuters. So these are some all big name people. Americans are drowning in auto loan debt. This is November 19th, 2025, CNBC. So these are reputable people. They're not just junk people, and I'm not finding some kind of crazy off the wall thing here. So I'm talking about real people, real good websites who's we're talking about Yahoo Finance here. We're talking about we're talking about Reuters, even CNN. Let's not get into CNN. I don't want to do that. But yeah, we're talking about Marketplace. We're talking about Experian. I see how bad is the default on car loans. Defaulting on your car loan. I say that's just a bunch of junk. Let's see. Auto loan defaults are increasing, and this is I don't seem to know them. Let's see. Cox Auto NC. I don't know. As the Americans are behind on car payments at record level. This is by Axios, and then, let's see, Americans are drowning in auto loan debt, and this was made on November 19th, 2025, right here. So, that's real numbers. Anyways, so let's get into this. This is 38 trillion, 355 billion, 38 trillion, 355 billion, and $30 million in national debt. So that's pretty big. And then let's see, they used to have one here that you say unfunded liability debt, but they stopped the unfunded liability. I don't know what happened to that, but I can't never find it anymore. I think they got kind of scared to keep showing people that because it's gotten so high now. Let's see, interest on debt net. Let's see, well. Anyway, so let's not do like I did the last time where I made a fool of myself. Okay, so now credit card debt is through the roof high. I think right now, I could type it in real fast, but I think right now it's 1.3 trillion in credit card debt. So let's do this. Credit card debt Americans owe is record high as household debt hits a record high. Let's see, household as household debt hits a record high of 18.59 trillion. Wow. Let's see, credit card debt, and this was on August 5th. The credit card debt was 1.21 trillion. That was in August. Let's see, household debt hits new record high. American household debt hits new record high. Let's see, so household debt is the new record high. So you see, the point, what I was trying to get at there, is there's only one way I see that we can get that. We've already had liquidation problems where your money's about to stop coming out of the ATM. You probably try to use your card to buy a simple drink at work. You don't know why it doesn't work. It's called liquidation, and liquidation is being a real problem right now. Basically, they're having to come in and pump money into the banking system after hours. Okay, so it's like this. You are in big trouble with your credit, with debt and everything in America. There's only one way that America is going to be able to fix this whole thing. There's only one way that we can actually fix and deal and get America in good shape again. And we're not going to be able to do it just easily on our own. So how are we going to be able to get out of this debt? The truth of the matter is, Americans are never going to get out of this debt. Not the debt that we're in, and the rate we're in with the payment, with the pay scale the way it is. The American people will never get out of this debt. There's only one choice that America has, and to be able to get anywhere out of this. If they don't do this, I tell you right now, if they do not do this, this will be the end of America. It's going to be the end of America if they don't do what I say right here. So let's get back over here to this. So we're 355 billion. Okay, so we're $38 trillion in debt. 38 and a quarter trillion dollars in debt. Right, 38 and a third. All right, so basically, there's only one way we can get out of it. I've thought about it, and with default loans going through the roof high on cars, I've already proven that too. I just showed you the credit card things too. So there's only one way that we're going to be able to get out of this. And the only way that we're going to be able to get out of this is if the American government, our government, gives a bailout to the banks. And it's illegal. It's not allowed to be done. They could pass it through Congress so that they could do it, but they're going to have to raise the debt ceiling. And if they don't raise the debt ceiling, the problem is the United States economy is going to collapse. I mean, well, the economy is already collapsing. The country's already collapsed. We're collapsing. Our country is totally collapsing. And the only way that we're going to be able to even have a chance to even kick the can down the road, because if they don't do this, if they do not do a bailout, if they do not lower the interest rate, if they do not do that, then the money will stop coming out of these ATMs. We've already had liquidation issues. Let me pull up the liquidation issues. Hold on a second. Okay. All right, so come on. Health bank list. Recent bank failures. I see. Okay. I'm just gonna pull him up here real quick. I'll show you. He'll explain it better to you. I'm gonna show you the which. I'm gonna show you which ones to watch here from this guy.
Welcome to the Epic Economy.
All right, so I'm gonna show you the one. I'm gonna show you the one to watch here. What are you doing? Come on. Let go of it. I don't know why my computer is doing that all of a sudden. There we go. Alright, so here's the one you want to go to. Tap on that. My computer was kind of clicking and dragging something real quick, but the one you want to go to is America's cost of living is crisis. Let's see, cost of living. Let's see. Bank accounts wiped out in seconds after financial scam crisis. I don't know nothing about that. So the manager coming into America. This guy's always doom and gloom. I watch some of his stuff. You can tell, though, I don't watch everything he puts out. I mean, there's times I don't watch much of his stuff, and then sometimes I'll watch all of it. But anyway, he just did a thing. This is the guy you want to look up. Liquidation problem. Let me go back one. I probably can pull this up. Real quick. I'm really not trying to get off on these little things like this because it doesn't really help me out any. Apocalypse. Prayer for starvation. Yeah. It's always cost of living crisis. Anyway. Yeah, they're trying to hide this one. I don't know why. But they're basically shadow banning that video. They don't like that being showed. But anyway, it's there if you look for it. It's called liquidation issue. I don't know why they're shadow banning that video in particular. But they're shadow banning it. Anyway, look it up. And you'll see what I mean. There's a problem going on right now that if we do not go ahead and if we do not go ahead and do a bailout, if we do not bail out the banks, while they're at it, they take $5 trillion and they do a bank bailout, which get the banks, keep the banks head above water anyway, because they're in bigger debt than that. They're $18.9 trillion in debt. I just showed you that. So if they're $18.9 trillion in debt, the only way that we're going to get out of this problem, the only way that we're going to get out of this is with a bailout of $5 trillion. And if we don't kick the can down the road a little further, I mean, it's not the cure. There is no cure. That's the problem. I wish I could tell you there's a cure, but there's no cure. The GDP in America is 23.9%. And you got $38.3 trillion in debt, in our national debt. We are never going to pay that off. There's no way we'll ever pay that off. So the only way we can get anywhere close to where we need to be on this thing, and you got to remember something. All right, if you followed me for any period of time, you know that I have said this stuff in advance, way before it ever happened, okay? And I'm saying this in advance now. And the sad part is that I'm saying this stuff in advance now, but you may find yourself in more trouble than you think. Excuse me. My heart is bothering me. But yeah. You might find yourself in more trouble than you think, because let me put it this way: we're 38.3 trillion in debt. We got 18 point something trillion that the banks have loaned out to American citizens as just for auto loans, car loans, trash loans. I mean, just stuff like campers and RVs and ATVs and motorcycles and everything else, UTVs, all these different kind of things that people have been buying. So we've gotten ourselves into all this debt, and if they do not do a bailout to the banks, and they do not do something, the money will stop coming out of the ATMs. It will stop. It really, really is going to stop. That's just why your banks have been denying you. You have the money there, but that's just why your banks have been saying purchase has not gone through down there to be able to buy a drink at work. That's just why you have tried to get money out of the ATM and it said no, declined, and you're like, what the hell is going on? Why is my money not coming out? It's called liquidation. America is having a liquidation crisis. The money is going to stop coming out of the ATMs if the banks doesn't do it. And if you followed me for any given time, if our government does not do this, and you have followed me for any amount of given time, you know that I'm telling the truth. I have told the truth every time. I said before COVID hit, people were arguing with me then, saying there was a housing market crisis. There's a housing market crisis. Trying to tell me there's a housing market crisis when there was no housing market crisis before Zillow cooked the books. And then Zillow cooked the books. Now we got a housing market problem. Now we do have a bubble in the housing market. Then to add to that, the automakers tripled the price, doubled the price of the trucks they were selling, tripled the price of the trucks they were selling. Because I tell you what, nowadays a V6 Chevrolet is about $60,000, and that same truck pre-COVID was $30,000. So they doubled the price. So we doubled the price on the trucks. We've went up on rent through the roof. All the money is not there. The money in the banks is dried up. And if they don't do, let's say, a $5 trillion debt, $5 trillion in a bailout, this country will fail. I predicted it every time. I said in 2017, I said America's going to go for another collapse. We're going to have another collapse. We're going to have an economic collapse, another one. And I realized that we cannot keep going through these collapses. We cannot keep going through these recessions, these major recessions and major depressions. We cannot keep going through these things without our country totally falling apart. Okay? I predicted this in 2017. I said that credit card debt, car loans, trash loans, and everything else is going to get people in trouble, and they're going to be back where we were in 2008. I said it's not going to be long before it happened. But I said this back in 2017. Since then, they have just pumped money into the economy. I said that in 2017. Trump and Biden both. But Trump raised, I think they said Biden raised it up like 3 or 4 trillion. Trump raised it up 10 trillion. 10 trillion. Back then it was at 29 trillion. Now it was at I think it was 28 trillion when I said that. That was, or 20, it was like 20, maybe it was 27 trillion, I think, when I said that. I think it was at 27 trillion. This was 2017. It's gone up like 12 trillion or something like that, or so many trillions of dollars in debt since then. They have pumped $10 trillion in this thing in the matter of 2 terms. They pumped $10 trillion into the economy to keep it afloat. That's how much money they pumped into it with all those injections and everything else. So Trump's economy and when his first term would not collapse. And they give all this money away on COVID and everything else, and they totally screwed this country. They have. And if they don't do something now to just a small bit of money, they're trying not to put any more money into this economy, into this country like that. But if they do not do something, the money's going to stop coming out of the ATMs. You're going to go try to use your debit card. It's not going to work. You're going to try to get on the line. You'll see the money on your banking account. You're going to try to go get gasoline. It's not going to work. The money is going to stop. Literally, the money will stop coming out of the banking account. You will not be able to buy groceries. You will not be able to buy anything unless you have cash. And then that's only going to work for so long whenever they finally figure out that the dollar has collapsed. Okay? We're going to collapse this dollar. We're going to collapse this country if we do not do something. And the truth of the matter is that it's all going to collapse anyway. But if they don't do something now, this minute, if they don't do something by the end of 2026, if they do not do a bailout, probably before this winter's over, if they do not do a bailout, the money is going to stop coming out of the ATM. I promise you that. I know. I have predicted everything down to the T. I said when they was giving all that money out, I said I don't want them to give out that money. When they give out all that money, that free cash and everything, I was telling people then, go get a job. I was saying, go get a job. It's going to be worse on you by taking the cash. Go get a job. Because I said then, price of eggs will be $6 a dozen. I said, you wait and see. I said, you're going to pay $6 a dozen for the price of eggs. Now the price of eggs, $6 a dozen. Well, not really $6 a dozen, but I said that's what they'll be. I said everything's going to be so expensive you're not going to be able to afford it because of inflation. I said it then, and I was right. Inflation is killing your ass now. Pardon French. And then I said the price of cars are getting up so high that nobody can afford them. And I went out to car lots and I made all these videos of car lots and stuff. I said if people are financing these cars right now at these prices, they will not be able to afford them. And I just proved to you that they would not be able to afford them. Here it is. Year down the line, year and a half down the line, I was right. that combined with the price of houses. And I think whenever they were cooking the books, I said Zillow is making back when Zillow was making was doubling and tripling the prices and everything was going up, I said then Zillow is making a housing bubble. They were making the housing bubble. Now we've got a housing bubble. And I said then they're making a housing bubble. It was just said that we have had the biggest price of houses decrease in more than, I think they said the price of houses haven't decreased like this in 25 years or something like that. Excuse me. Something like that. I think they said that the price of houses like this has not decreased since the dot-com bubble. That's how sharp of a decrease in value that the house is going down now. And I said then, Zillow is making a housing market bubble. And they're making a housing market bubble. They did. They overloaned people way too much money on houses that was not worth the value. And I said it then that that's what they were going to do. And I'm telling you right now, I've said many things that's come true. You'd be surprised how many times I say something. It's like I was talking about a certain, I don't know how to explain it, but I was talking about, I tried my best to tell people not to do a certain thing. I won't say what that thing is, but I was trying to tell people not to do a certain thing. And at least I felt like it was a good thing that I was trying to tell people. And then all of a sudden now we've got all this stuff going on. I'm seeing all this stuff going on with let's just say it's I don't know how to explain it. But anyway, I was talking about one certain subject a long time ago that was almost about to get me kicked off of YouTube. And I won't even talk about it. But let's just say it rhymes with beer. And it almost got me kicked off YouTube. So I don't touch that subject no more. I said, nope, I've almost been kicked off too many times. I was put on probation for 2 weeks before. It was ridiculous. But anyway, I said that something would happen, and then later on, now you start seeing all this stuff going on. So yeah, everything I've said within the last, it happens, but it happens. It takes 6 months to finally happen. It took years for it to finally happen, but the crash is here finally. My crash, the economic collapse, the crash I said would happen is finally here. It's taken me a long time, and it's not my fault. The government and everybody else has been pushing up against me the whole time, working against me, propping up the market, making bigger bubbles, and injecting money and making things 100 times worse. And then on top of that, with their COVID bullshit of just racking up more and more money, and it's gotten to the point that America is at the point of no return. We cannot fix this. This cannot be fixed. The only way we're going to be able to fix this, there's only one way we'll be able to fix this, and that is not really, there's no way to fix it. The only thing we can do at this point is we're just going to have to put out that bailout. If we do not do that bailout, there's no way to fix this, but the only thing we can do is the bailout. If they don't do the bailout, if they don't give the bailout, if they don't do something to lower these interest rates and everything else, if they don't do something, the money will stop coming out of the ATMs. This country will totally, not partially, not have an economic downturn, recession, this and that. This country will totally collapse if they don't do it. Anyway, be good, get at it, take it easy, my friends. I'll make another video before the weekend's over, and I do hope that you had a happy Thanksgiving. I got another one coming up for you. It's going to be about employers. No, that's going to be real good. You're going to like that one. Anyway, be good.